Hi, I'm JD Kermode.
And I'm John Sims.
We're partners at Atkinson, Sims and Kermode, and we primarily handle personal bankruptcies for people. We've been in business for around 20 years now. One of the bankruptcies that we end up filing is what's called a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, which some people refer to as a liquidation. Now, John, does liquidation mean that you lose all your property if you file for Chapter 7 bankruptcy?
No, JD, that is a kind of a scary word. Most of the time, people keep what they want to keep. There may be instances where they lose property, but they decide they want to give that property up, whether it's a car or a house that they can just no longer afford. But liquidation, most of the time, and I say most, 99% of the time, there's nothing sold. JD, explain a little bit how Chapter 7 works, if you don't mind.
Well, Chapter 7 is basically walking away from a lot of your debts. Credit card bills, medical bills, balances owed on repossession, personal loans. Before you go in, we'll know, would you lose a piece of property or not in a Chapter 7? And that's one of the reasons you come in to meet with us, is so we can say, okay, if you file one type of bankruptcy, would you lose a piece of property that you want to keep? It's a much shorter process than a Chapter 13, and that's what most of our clients end up filing. Now, to touch on kind of what you were talking about is, what do you have to do normally just to keep your house or your car if you want to do a Chapter 7?
Right. Oftentimes, the creditor's going to require what's called a reaffirmation. A reaffirmation is a new promise to pay. People will often say, I don't want to include my house. Well, what they need to understand is that creditor will get notice. Just because they get notice doesn't mean you're going to lose that home. What often the creditor wants is they want money. They don't want the house. So what you do is you sign a reaffirmation, a promise to continue to pay that debt. A lot of times the terms are exactly the same. Occasionally you'll see terms being changed, usually for the better, usually never for the worse. And you can make that determination on if you want to keep that property as long as you are current.
Yeah, so the main thing for keeping your house or your car is staying up to date on the payment, because the bankruptcy does not change one thing. If you make your payments, you keep the car or house. If you don't make your payments, you lose the car or your house. And the bankruptcy, the Chapter 7 bankruptcy, does not change that at all, does it, John?
That's right, JD. JD, what debts should people understand they might still owe after bankruptcy besides the debts they reaffirmed?
Well, normally the debts that you can't get rid of are tax debt, student loan debt, child support, or alimony. And most of our clients kind of know going in that those are things that they can't get rid of it, and they understand that. So I think on the front end of it, people know that going in, and they're really focusing on medical bills, credit card bills, things like that are just kind of everyday debts that they're having a struggle with paying.
You can take care of the debts you need to take care of, and oftentimes keep your stuff. What people need to understand is in the future you're going to be okay. You will rebuild, and you will move on with your life. If you have any questions, please reach out to us.